Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 168. And we're finally back.
Yes.
Had spring break, and then I caught some sort of bug on spring break, and then there were work and family interruptions, and we're hopefully going to be back on a normal schedule soon.
Yeah. Work has been interesting, and it'll continue for a while here, so hopefully, I don't know, I've accomplished some work-life balance at some point, and things won't get pushed to the side, and I can work on my stuff.
Yeah, I started a new job, immediately went on vacation, and now I'm not only, dealing with the learning curve, but also with, huge backlog of stuff that I missed. So yeah, work's been work. Really busy. Here too. Did you have a fun spring break?
We did. The kids went to Camp Grandma.
I think I saw that. Arts and crafts.
Yes. So yeah, kids went to Camp Grandma, and my husband and I stayed up north here to hang out and had work to accomplish. More me than him. Again, like, my new job was in November, started in November. So besides having limited vacation, which I would like to save for summer, there's also the aspect of like, oh, I'm the only one, and I'm learning, and I need to stay on point the whole time. Like, we're in the middle of something, and I could not go on vacation. And I looked at my future, and it's over the top of when we have another one that's over the top of when the kids are no sack, which is when we normally take a vacation. So it's like, oh man,
yeah, somebody didn't plan that quite right.
I didn't plan any of
I know.
it.
I'm not saying that was you. I'm just saying somebody else. Somebody else had a scheduling.
I think it's because I wasn't there when they did this planning for me to say, it's going to be a little difficult. Rochester Public Schools has no care that week.
Yeah.
How many people do you think that will affect? Anyway, that is that.
That is that. We had quite the vacation. So Kansas City, things were blooming. It was warm. We wore shorts for 2 days. We went to the Great Wolf Lodge in Kansas City, Kansas for 2 days, which I don't know that I would recommend that. I think one day, and you can get in before you're into your room, and then the day after, like after you check out, you can still go to the water park. I think that would have been enough. Water park, by the end, we were all kind of water parked out, but very short lines, so the kids got to go through the slides a bunch, and that was fun. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, my Fitbit was like, you walked 5,000 steps, and I was like, but oh gosh, I couldn't, I wasn't wearing it in the water. I went way more than that. Then we got a vacation rental by owner in Kansas City, Missouri. And we went to a place called Paradise Park in Lee Summit, and it is fantastic. It was so much fun. It's pricey, but if you price it out by the hour, I think it was like close to $200 for my family of 5. But we were there for like 8 hours. Like, it was an all-day thing, and you could come, you could leave and come back. So we didn't have to eat like lunch on the park per se. We did mini golf, we did bumper cars, we did go-karts. There were 0 lines, so we just could continue to go and do them if we wanted. There was a Nerf room, which I think you commented on one of my pictures, was really fun. There was like cannons that you could load up these little Nerf balls with, and then there was a big thing in the middle where you put the Nerf balls in, and then you hit a thing, and they shot them clear up into the air. There was a rock climbing wall. There was laser tag. I pistol whipped Ellie in laser tag. She had a big old bruise on her head. Well, she was following around too close, and I turned, and the butt of my laser gun hit her in the head, because she's just the right height for it to to hit her, so I felt bad about that. But
we were practicing soccer one day, and I kicked a ball, and it went straight to Lucy's head. And then Justin kicked a ball, and it went straight to Lucy's head, and we were done. Yeah. We had 2 accidental kicks in a row, because Justin and I aren't that good. Mm-hmm. There's no way we were aiming for her. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Yeah, it just made me think that Rochester needs something like that, because I think that would be a really, like, the teenagers would want to go hang out. Kind of similar to, like, what they have at the Rack, I guess.
You would need a yearly pass, though. That sounds really expensive.
Yes. No, they had them there if you lived there. And then Jeremy also found, like, this Diane something farmland, and it's free during the week, but then once you got in, it was a bunch of pay for things like riding a hay bale, a hayrack ride, right? Hayrack ride? Anyway, riding a horse, fishing was, so it was all kind of a la carte, but just to get in, and they had all kinds of fun equipment and stuff to play on, and petting zoo animals and whatever. That was I can't remember where that was, if that was in Overland Park or whatever. But yeah, we saw the sights. We went to Crown Point Center and they have a free indoor playground. And Kaleidoscope, Hallmark Kaleidoscope, where you can go do arts and crafts, and made like colored things and puzzles, and it's like 40 minutes. And I was telling one of my coworkers, and he was like, so what's the catch? And I'm like, there is no catch. You just go in for 40 minutes, and it's like a good PR thing for Hallmark, I think. But, yeah. Loose Park was close by where we stayed, and we went and checked that out. I got to see Mandy and Shannon one of the nights, which was very fun. So, yes, very restful, very family-centric. Got some knitting done, but not a lot of knitting done. But, yeah, it was good. Cool. Yeah. Now spring break's over. You know what that means. Yarn Over's coming up. And then our retreat.
Yeah.
Well, then it becomes like birthday central at my house, and then our retreat.
Yeah, my birthday's this Saturday.
I know. Are you doing anything fun?
Thinking about taking the kids to one of those hibachi grills, because I've been wanting to do that for so long, and Matt said, well, we could do that for your birthday, and I was like, you know what? That does sound like fun. So instead of, I don't know, we usually in the past have, gone out and left the kids at home during our birthdays when we go out. So this will be different, but I think it'll be fun.
Cool.
Kids will help me celebrate my birthday at the ching ching ching. Yes. The entertainment hibachi grill.
That's where we met.
Oh, that's true. We did. New Year's Eve. At a hibachi grill.
Yeah. You're getting married next year? Yeah. I'm getting married next year too. So, yes. All kinds of fun memories. Misty watercolor memories of the way we were. I'm almost out of paper, I noticed. I've got one more sheet.
And then she said, I guess we're done recording podcasts from now on, because she ran out of paper.
The show notes have filled a 100 and something page notebook. 400 page notebook?
That can't be right.
Yeah, well,
unless a lot of things have been ripped
40
out.
sheets. But I'm using back and front, so that's 80.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a lot to give away and talk about. Very, very generous people have been sending us stuff. I had a bunch of stuff waiting for me when I came home. You got some stuff, and then we've had a go here where we haven't been podcasting. So, March had some self-striping giveaways. We had the little skein bag, Fox and Rainbow Socks, the official sock knitter bag, drawstringy, the canvas bottom. We had Spud and Chloe, which they very generously gave us yarn to knit with, and then they also gave us yarn for the self-striping, and then they gave us for a giveaway. So they were very, very generous. And each one of them will get a Popsicle Socks pattern with them. So for the self-striping, let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. We had 5 winners, and they were 2 through 556, number 555, 31, 357, 200, and 458. So the first one was 555, the little skein bag, and that was S. Bingham, and she knit some rainbow socks out of white birch, so she's getting
apropos
a rainbow bag with her rainbow socks. And then 2 Spud and Chloe, so a purple and a blue, and whoever contacts first gets first choice whether or not they want blue or purple. So number 31 was Britter the Knitter, and number 357 was Iggy Star. So are they contacting you, Amy?
I've had terrible luck getting to the mailbox, but I can do it.
Okay, because there's still... I've got patterns that I'll be giving away, and we've got other stuff. So we'll split it up like that. 2 patterns, 2 remaining were 200, which was Caroline 47, and Q Mama, which was 458. Please contact me. Any pattern out of my Ravelry store that's been
no, that was
this is March still.
Yep.
Sorry. We're moving. She's on top of things. She wants to be in April because it's April.
I do.
It is April. So yeah, contact me. I'll gift you one of my self-striping patterns, and we're a go. So we also closed down the Spud and Chloe giveaway, which was ice cream, celebratory, and what you would knit if you won. And we've got the Great Freeze here. It was 2 through 406, and the winner was number 108. That is Christy Crispy Bacon.
Sounds delicious.
Do you like your bacon crispy?
I do. Almost overdone sometimes.
Really?
I mean, I'm not a fan when it's super overdone, but I mean, I like it crispy enough that I'd rather overdo it than underdo it.
Got it. I kind of think I like it a little chewier. I don't like the rough mouth feel.
Oh.
Anyway, all of that to say, congratulations, Christy. You won the Spud and Chloe giveaway of Grape Freeze.
Yeah, and she really liked cookie dough ice cream, if I remember.
So contact me, and I will be sending those out. And then in April, we've got all kinds of upcoming giveaways. And I just kind of wanted to flash some of these to give you a preview. But stay tuned, because we're not doing anything necessarily with them at this exact moment.
Right.
So A Darn Good Yarn in Sarasota got some custom self-striping Lorna's laces dyed up. I can't remember what the colorways. This one is Rays, and then this one is
U of F.
University of Florida?
Yeah.
Because they're in Florida, Sarasota.
That looks like Gator colors, though.
Okay. So Gators and Rays. And I'm going to choose one of them, I think, and knit it up just to show folks what it looks like. And then the other one will be the self-striping yarn prize this month. We also have a bag prize lined up for the self-striping, so that's Sew For You, and that's a choice of any bag in her shop, I believe. It might be a specific size, and we can confirm that once it's drawn, but it's a choice, and you can go out and look at her shop and see if the bags are of interest to you, what you would pick if you won. And then the designer, as you were alluding to earlier, is Meltran Designs. It is her birthday month. I'm not going to say what her age is, but you get 34% off with the coupon code SZ34 on any of her patterns.
Excellent.
So I knit her it's escaping my mind. The one with the kind of braided.
Yep. And I knit
it travels up the foot, and I think that would look really good. In fact, I did it with my Trailing Clouds.
Oh, okay.
My Mind the Gap, so it did look really good with self-striping. And then she has mitts also that are
the same braid,
the same pattern, that motif that travels. Super cute, super cute. So go check that out, and thank you to those guys for being amazing sponsors of our self-striping extravaganza. We also have upcoming giveaways. We have Lowland Originals. You will see in our enabling the very awesome stuff that she sent for us, but also 4 bags to give away. I think some of them might go to self-striping, and others might be included in another giveaway that we're going to have. I really like that she has coordinated the patterns. So there's an inside pattern, an outside pattern, and then like the band. And this one is the one that just slays me, because there's all these oranges that would be hard to coordinate. Like colors or fabrics don't come like that.
Yeah, and they're kind of pattern mashups too, because it's like floral plus geometric plus
It kind of reminds me of like those quilts. That like my grandma would make, the tie quilts with all kinds of different, hodgepodge of fabrics that were left over from whatever, or they all got together and mishmashed their fabrics. But very cool, very unique. So go check out Renee's shop, the Lowland Originals, and we've got these bags to give away. We also will be doing a review of Coop Knits, her sock book next week, we believe. And then we're also part of a blog tour for Elegant Economy's Date Night series. So there are 4 patterns in here, 3 garments and 1 cowl. And she also has sent along a sampler pack of yarns that were used and some really huge bags.
Yeah, giant
sweater bags. Yes, sweater bags, and really tall. So like you could put a bunch of yarn in the bottom and then have the sweater sitting on top and still have lots of space. So very, very generously gave us those. And those are nice glossy prints. I don't know if she's, as you mentioned, planning on doing any sort of yarn store.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wait until you're squishing stuff. So yeah, they're very nice. They're like yarn store quality. I thought we had 5, so I was just double checking. Because wasn't there that really pretty... Okay, so there's this.
A pullover, yeah. 2 cardigans.
Oh, there's
5. A poncho and the cowl.
We were counting staples, and one of them doesn't have staples.
Well, tricky.
So a pullover, 3 sweaters, and a cowl.
Yep. We will be reviewing that. I don't know the count of this.
Did I say pullover or poncho? It's a poncho.
You did say pullover, but that's what there. If you do pull a poncho over.
Yes, you do. But I meant to say poncho.
We also have some very lovely yarns from String Theory hand-dyed yarn that she sent. I really like the way these are tonal, but yet sort of variegated, and the base looks very unique. But we will be knitting / reviewing / giving away that. And then we also have some Colornet Jitterbug. That is Jocelyn's favorite base, she said. So
those are fun.
Yes, very fun. Very vibrant colors that we'll be doing some sort of giveaway and review with. So yes, an embarrassment of riches.
Yes, very much.
And then you haven't even seen all of the yarn purchases that showed up in addition to this.
Yeah, I think that they knew us. There's a purple, there's a green, and then there's something else. So
if you're interested in the something else,
it
might be up for grabs. So, oh goodness. Okay, well, that's Administrati, and a week or 2 weeks worth of chitter chatter. So, winners, please contact us. Future winners, be excited that we'll be giving that stuff away. Cool. Yes. We are both wearing finished objects for Rex Manning Day.
Yeah. Okay.
Shock me with your deviant behavior. Empire Records. Do you remember that? Yeah. It's what I don't know. It's one of those. It's like if you are of the age where Napoleon Dynamite was what you were like quoting to your friends. Like I feel it was like the Napoleon Dynamite of like my high school years. Like we watched that religiously and loved all of the songs on the soundtrack, and you didn't necessarily need to know the plot or anything. You just needed to be able to quote Empire Records.
Gotcha.
It's like street cred.
I had the songs, pretty sure.
So. Well, I have a cowl named after Sugar.
Oh, yep, Sugar.
Gotta have it, really needed to get by. Sugar high. Anyway.
Cool. So yes, I knit a summer boxy out of a DK weight cotton linen blend, and it is big. It is very big. But yeah, I liked how it turned out. I wore it on Sunday because I thought we might record, but then Megan told me she was not feeling well.
Not at all.
And so I just slipped it on before I came over here, and yeah, I really like how it's been wearing. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't wear it to work. Because it's super lightweight, see-through, casual, but yeah, I really like it. Whereas like sometimes I look at the boxy for some of the colors in the wool ones look like, oh, you might be able to wear that to work. But yeah, not.
I wouldn't wear mine to work. It would be too informal for my workplace.
That's true. You said it didn't feel like it touched your body at all.
Yes, I did feel kind of naked. Mm-hmm.
So, the other thing I finished was my hand spun socks. And once again, I spun this out of some Leading Man Fiber Arts Superwash Merino. And it's a 3-ply. And I knit Eugene, which is a sock pattern from Coop Knits, and I realized that I have an off by 1 error on my first sock. So right there, it should blend like that. So this sock has like a definite line, and this one blends beautifully, and it was my fault. It was an off by 1 error. Basically, I think I had started the round off by 1, basically. And if you're quite the nerd, you've had many an off by 1 error in your life. Yeah. So I had a hard time with this this stripe because in the last 2 the patterning changed just enough so that it could end in a way. It's very beautiful the way it ends, but for me mentally I had a hard time remembering that. So I think on the very last part where you need to end it, I did it wrong. Like I would say a quarter of the time and had to go back and fix it. So it was definitely something I had to be more mindful, I had to focus on. But the leg is subtle and very easy, and I liked it. So that's Eugene sock pattern, and again my Homespun yarn, and I like it very much. I have a lot left over, so I'll be making some minis out of it. And that is it for finished objects.
Fun. It feels very light.
Oh yes, yeah. There's
you'll be wearing it into the summer.
Yes, my I can't think of the name of it, but I have one that's made out of wool mice, and it's a lot closer, so there's not as much fabric, and that thing felt so much heavier today. That's what I was wearing before I put this on, and yeah, I can't remember that pattern. Olive, does that sound right?
Okay. The one with the ring, and then it gets
yeah. So olive. I was wearing olive earlier, and that one I didn't increase as much. I did a lot of the ridges, but I didn't increase as much, and I think I knitted at a tighter gauge too than the pattern.
And it's fingering. Yeah. So that's saying something. If
Yeah.
DK weight or worsted weight boxy weighs less than a fingering weight garment.
Yeah. At least it seemed that way. Maybe it's because of the distribution of the fabric, but
yes, more surface area to distribute weight across. Very pretty.
So, yep, got 2 things done.
So your socks, you just will be able to uniquely identify them on so many levels, because not only is it your hand spun, but you've got your little Amish defect there, so that you don't think you're a knitting god.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Yes. I finished my sneaking stitches in here and there, my Alvi, which is a very heavily color worked, only a very few rows of ribbing are not color work in it. It is out of Woolmy's Blend, which is the MCN base. It washed up super nice. Did you feel it earlier when I didn't have it on?
I did.
Super nice. You have some of this.
I know I do.
I enabled you.
Yeah. It might be nearly the same colors, I forget.
Yes, Fruling and Ballerina, I believe, are my two colors. Alvi is a free pattern out on Ravelry. I did a bunch of modifications, mostly just to make it work for my brain. So the sleeves, which I really love how the my modification kind of looks like it's supposed to almost have a elbow patch. Mm-hmm. I couldn't figure out how to, in pattern, the sleeves are in this direction, increase in the herringbone stitch motif here. So I did as you did at the bottom, and just kind of slowly until I got enough and then did the little partridge type thing. And I like the way that turned out. And then the raglan is supposed to be a single stitch where they just did it different, and this made it work in my head. So basically these purple stitches are just slowly eating the motif next to them. So I decreased along a ridge, and it was always a purple stitch, and
yep,
it just made sense to me at the time, and so I did it. It looks a little different because in the pattern, this is just a single line, so it almost looks like it's expanding out rather than having a very defined raglan. But I don't mind a defined raglan. I'm a big fan of off-colored stitching and accent pieces, and so I like it. It is very warm, but it has been very cool here. Yeah. So I feel as if I still might get some use out of it. Other than that, I don't have a lot of mods. I told Amy the pattern had you just for the underarm, which I feel like that's kind of awkward here, but I can't remember if it just said to sew it up, but I did a 3-needle bind off on it. And so I have a purple line that continues across. And yeah, I was talking to Mandy and Shannon about it, and Mandy said she did think it looked like a lizard, and Shannon, who is very bird-centric, said it looked like feathers to her.
Oh, okay.
Which I kind of get with the peacock at the bottom. Mm-hmm. But definitely my colors. I used 1.2 skeins of the green and 1.0 something of the purple. So I could knit my daughter one. And some other things, because it's not going to take nearly as much of the yarn to knit her something. I could knit one and see what if I had flipped the purple and green would look like, because Ellie really likes purple.
That's true.
But I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon, because she won't be wearing it anytime soon. And you know what happens. You know what happens with that kind of stuff. You buy them the winter coat because it's super cheap.
Yep, and then they outgrow
it over the summer. So I'm thinking that warm weather gear, I should just wait. Just wait till it.
Yep.
Make
sure it actually fits.
Mm-hmm. And that is my one and only FO.
That's quite the FO.
It is. It is. The sleeves, I wish I had I was kind of trying to figure out how to do this. I wish I had done them 2 at a time, because that second sleeve just felt like it was taking forever. And trying to get it to make sure that I had matched up, and But you risk, if you do them 2 at a time and you mess up, having to rip out 2 sleeves. So I was not doubling down, as it were. But
I mean, it would all go very slow, but you could make sure that they were exactly the same.
Yep. That happens. What you working on over there?
I'm working on the fruit
stripe gum.
And in my 716 knit Twixt My Nethers colorway,
Serenity inspired.
Yes, Serenity inspired. All her other ones are Buffy, so this one is a Serenity quote from the club. And I ordered the Bazinga Bright Yellow here as a contrast color, and because I thought that I might do some more your pattern. The
Blurred lines?
No, the one where it
Static Zing.
Static Zing, sorry. So I thought I might do Static Zing with it, but then once I had tried to knit, I tried to do blurred lines, didn't realize that there was tiny stripe, then tiny black stripe, and then tiny stripe again. It looked really odd. It didn't quite work.
Mm-hmm.
So in looking for a new pattern that would work, I thought fruit striped gum would be great, and then I could use this as my cuff and heel and toe, and still use it for other things because it will not use near as much.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more of the cuff, heel, toe, and just thinking how professional and put together those socks look. So I get it.
So that was fun to start because I cast off one and I was like, I want something new.
Yeah, I have a definite lack of self-striping in my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get some on the needles.
You can correct that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have the technology, both the technology and the supplies.
I got 2 club yarns that I could have enabled with, but I chose not to because I'm nice. I don't want to spoil anybody.
No spoilers.
So I'll show you my progress on my sweaters.
Ooh, green.
So this is my Cinnamon Girl by Amy Christophers, and I have 2 very boring sleeves done, and now I get to work on the pattern. It's a little slow going. I mean, it's going fast because it is on whatever size this is needle, size 8 needle, and it's a thicker yarn, so it is zooming in that respect, but it is a lot of patterning.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of chart reading, and it's not a hard chart. I will say that a lot of it seemed instinctual. I just needed to make sure that I got the pattern going so that I could see it.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty.
Yeah, and there's a lot of natural delineation.
Mm-hmm.
I did, these 2 seem to be like they're supposed to be mirrored, these 2 on here.
Mm-hmm.
And the first way I had done them, I guess whether you were knitting into the back of a stitch or the front of a stitch, it looked a lot different. And so when I was trying to decide how to correct, because apparently when I mirrored it, I had knit into the back stitch instead of into the front stitch. So I did have to do some, I don't know.
Sweater surgery?
Sweater surgery, yeah.
Did you do that with the fix-a-stitch?
No, because it had a lot of complicated cabling in it. It wasn't just straight up. So I did it more of lace surgery style, where you knit down and then you expand it, and then you. I came in with other needles and fixed it. But now it visually it looks better to me. But I have a feeling that there's going to be a slight gauge difference in the ones that I corrected. Makes me a little sad, but. Not enough to rip it out.
Block out. Come on.
Charger. So there's that. Oh, and this is not near as big as it used to be.
No. Got 2 sleeves out of that cheese wheel, and
so it's almost getting to the point where the orbital stops, and it's more just cake. So it's exciting.
The stuff that you had to hand wrap on there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Goodness, you're not through that yet?
Nope.
Do you know at about what point that was? Was that like...
No.
Okay. Do you know how many yards or grams or whatever?
I know that her pattern is for the exact number of yards. and I don't know how closely I'm supposed to keep track.
Is it oversized? Kind of big and no? There's a lot of yards in there, and air and weight.
Yeah, it is a bit swingy in the front.
Okay.
Because it overlaps by an entire pattern repeat, which is 18 air and weight stitches. I think 18, maybe not. So then, you know, there's, I don't know how many inches overlap, like 5 inches overlap on that. So there's that. I did do a little bit, tiny little bit on this so that you can see more of the pattern.
And you proved to yourself that you fixed it, right?
Yep, I proved to myself that I fixed it. It's all good. I left my floats completely long here, and I'm a little worried, but I'm not going to panic. I'll just leave just on the pink, and you know, where you're only seeing one dot every 7 stitches, I believe. So there's a 7-stitch float, and I'm like, oh, why didn't I tuck that? So who knows? I might rip back and tuck that. We'll see.
Yeah, I've never had colorwork sleeves before. And so I had my Great Wolf Lodge band on, and I was trying the sleeve on, and I had like a green strand that was like, it had pulled like a whole row's worth of green taut. And I was like, because I'm just not, and so when I was putting it on tonight with with my Fitbit, I was like, you know, because I don't want that to happen again. So yeah, my husband's like, how does that even happen? And I was like, something, you know, it's stranded knitting. I mean, it's no more than, there was nothing that I had to wrap on these. The pattern is
very close together.
Yeah, 3 stitches difference is the biggest that it gets apart. But yeah, it's like, well, that's what happens when you're sliding something over it. But down the bottom there, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I
thought you were just saying that your floats in general were really loose, and I was going to say, as somebody that's getting more familiar with color work, that's a good thing. Like, you can always work some of the slack out and whatever, but if things are too tight, that's just bad news.
Yeah.
You can't add. You'd rather have too much than too little, right?
I don't remember where I learned it, but I learned the whole, like, you spread out the stitches before you make that long wrap. So if you have, you know, if you're going along and it's only like 2 or 3 across, it's like, no big deal, and it'll kind of work better. But if you have a float that's like 5, 6 across, you need to spread out your knitting, and then make the transition. And so my floats, they don't seem loose. I mean, I'll show you the back side. They don't seem loose. I mean, I guess if I went like this, like, there you go. There's I can fit my finger in it. I don't know. Is it worth fixing? Vicki, tell me.
Experienced colorwork knitters. Vicki, Corey.
Yeah, somebody tell me.
Not Megan, because I'm just like, well, I got this thing caught. You might want to.
Right. Well, and again, I could also like go back later and because I mean the stitch work is only about a couple inches tall, so I could go back later and tack them in.
Yep. A little bit of almost like duplicate stitch.
Yeah.
But on the back side.
Yep.
Back side.
Like if I had one of those interesting like, oh no moments with it, or something cued me into like, oh, I should really fix that, it wouldn't be too much work to quickly tack it in on the back side. So, but
yeah, that reminds me, I had a place where I fixed like 40 rows down on this sweater with my Fix-A-Stitch, and I actually felt kind of innovative.
Yeah.
Because or I think I talked about it last time.
You did.
Yeah, I did. So I've forgotten that I've already told you stories. So sorry,
No,
I'm one of those people where you're like, you've already told us that story, Megan.
So I started the Chardonnay cowl I've knit one of these before, but this time I'm doing the large infinity loop size.
What is the red?
It is Spud and Chloe's sweater.
Okay.
And I bought it on clearance at a closing yarn shop so many years ago. It was kind of like an old stash guilting me, saying, knit me into something. So I balled up this and then some Spud and Chloe outer that I had gotten. And I tried to do something with the outer that would be a cowl, but more of a thicker one that you kind of scrunch down and, you know, I don't know, just it kind of like the long skinnies that you put over your neck and you just squish them down. And I could not get the right number of stitches around for the pattern I had chosen because apparently there was a double up in it somewhere and it was just all sorts of mess and wrong. And so I just said, done with you, outer, your timeout. So once I timed that out, I cast this one on. And it's been, I think I started it cast on a while ago, but then the progress on the knit part has only been one evening. So it was fun. It progressed really quickly. Yeah. And so yeah, that's got cotton and acrylic and wool in it, I believe. So that was fun. And we talked about that. I did a lot of spinning on my spindle. So spinning on my spindle, it's kind of slow, so I made a lot of progress, but there's still nothing to show for it. I need to wind off the singles and then figure out where to go from there. So I'll have 2 toilet paper spun, wound off singles that I want to apply, and I've never done that before because the Turkish was the other one, and that was easy because you pop the turtles off and then you just immediately apply from the turtle. And that was an easy concept for me. But now I'm like, well, now this is backwards from what I would normally do. Am I going to mess it up if I apply it a certain way? So experienced spinners, anybody who wants to give me advice on the threads or PM, I would happily read it all. I mean, I'm so new at spindle spinning.
I think Java Jenny recently did something like that, right?
Okay.
Where she had all of her spindle spinning and she was plying it.
Okay.
And had it all separated out and whatnot. Okay. I remember seeing pictures and her talking about it. But then it became kind of like the Charlie Brown, like spinning, wah, 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 wah.
Megan, like spinning, I don't care.
What about the knitting?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I enjoy people enjoying handcrafts. So.
Yes.
And spinning is definitely one of those. So, and they have beautiful results, like your socks.
And I in enabling, I actually do have my full spindle here.
Ooh, okay. I am currently working on a test knit for Lee Meredith. She is Lethal Knits. Super innovative, super genius, super awesome aesthetic. I have test knit for her a ski mask. And then she's, I've just kind of, she doesn't do a lot of garments, and so this is the first cardigan that came across, like, hey, would you like to knit it? And I was like, yes, sign me up. And so this is kind of a swingy front that overlaps cardigan with a fun twist that I'm not allowed to share with you quite yet. I just recently put in an afterthought armhole here. It's worked from side to side. So on the bias, it's got some fun drop stitches. I really, 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 did I say really, love the fabric this is creating. So this is Daisy Knits, who is Jennifer Watkins, that we know, and it is her Nectar base. And it's 85% Polworth wool and 15% silk. And it is a monster skein of 730 yards. So I've just barely made a dent in this bad boy, and this is a short sleeve, so once I get done with the body, I'll just need un pequeño. But the I just really like the the drop stitches, I like the way that the tonal yarn is kind of working up side to side. Like if I had worked it this way, I don't think that it would be as striking as it is turning out, being worked side to side. So, yes, super fun, enjoying that, and it's got like a deadline of the 14th, so I gotta get on it. Get on it. I kind of got into a place when on our vacation where I needed all of this is custom fit to me. So like I had to do arm measurements and waist measurements and how far apart up here I wanted measurements, and I just wasn't in a place where I could do that.
Right.
So I didn't get started on it. But yeah, it's got a fun little kind of braided cable at the bottom, and yeah, I'm liking it. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And that is the only work in progress. I gotta get some self-striping on the needles, and yes, I'm thinking the Peaceful Pullover by Elegant Economy is going to go on the needles soonly. I also have some secret knitting that's going on, some kits.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Cool.
Yes.
So, enabling,
yes.
What do I got? I have my pickle sock bag from my mom, finally. Pickle sock bag. I'm very excited to have my pickle sock bag. And then it's got the Dancing Dog Dye Works Monster Mania final colorway in there, so I don't want to reveal that. Secret. And then I got this from Little Skein, which Megan got too.
Unbeknownst to each other.
Yeah.
So Annie sent me a PM and was like, lots of stuff headed to you in Minnesota. And I was like, and then we talked. And then I was like, oh, haha, yep, Annie, we figured out that we both ordered one unbeknownst to the other one. And she was like, well, I can't reveal these things to you.
Right.
I'm like a therapist. There's knitter bag seller confidentiality.
So, yep, I thought that the sheep on this were just too adorable, and
super
I love
cute.
the bright blue bottom. So
patterned, and I really like the inside too. It's a really cool coral print. So yes, and her bags. Love the drawstring.
Yeah.
Bags of hers.
So yeah, I got an itty bitty pickle, and I got a bigger sheepy. And the inside here is the Mary Gail So Spartacus Dyes blueberries colorway. I'm not sure if that's the full name of it, but it's from the Gilmore Girls Club, and so I don't want to reveal the club colorway for people. But my cat is eating yarn again, so like I left it on a chair for like 10 minutes tops, and she had already chomped on it. So I have 4 separate little balls in here, and then a bunch of useless pieces that went into a pile just in case I need them. But sad panda, it's a beautiful colorway too. I was like, oh. But yeah, I can't leave it for a second. So I don't know what she did to this yarn in particular special, or maybe it's the color, because I think that the other one she liked to chomp was nearly dark like this one.
Could be the color.
Could
be that they do a really good job of rinsing off the like vinegary smell, so it's not as big of a deterrent.
True.
All kinds of things it could be. So Lowland Originals sent us some very cute 10 stitch markers on here. Lots and lots of stitch markers. Some handmade, hand-stamped MIDI cards that say such cute things. Do yours say the same cute things as mine?
Oh yeah, I
just
believe
a
so.
Note to say hello. You're just my type of friend. Very cute. And we snagged those for ourselves, but left you guys the bags. So we're feeling, virtuous still.
Yeah. But, yeah, could not resist keeping this.
Yes.
The cute little wooden shoes.
Yes.
And they came all the way from the Netherlands.
Yes.
So cute.
Super. This kind of reminds me of those charm necklaces from my youth. Did you have those?
Oh, yeah, where the plastic little
Things,
doohickeys.
and they would like jingle on your neck.
Yes.
I had
very
like
much so.
Yeah, like a record and some headphones. And,
Yep. Toothpaste, toothbrush.
Yeah.
Did they come in like mystery packs, or did you know what they were before?
I think
you
I
ordered
got
them?
mine like a bubble gum thing.
Okay, so you didn't know what you were going to get because you were twisting the thing, but then you could see what it was after. Oh my!
And then you could like trade them with folks.
Oh yeah.
And I can't remember the one that I wanted that I never got, but I do remember there being one that like nobody would trade you if they got it.
I remember those things. Those were really fun.
These kind of, just them jangling like that reminded me of it.
Nostalgia.
But the cute little owl, got a ladybug, a peace sign, some pretty buttons. Yeah, you got similar.
Yeah.
Very, very cute. Thank you, Renee. And I'm assuming she has these all available in her
Shop.
Yep, Lovan's Original.
Yeah, and the shipping came pretty
fast.
quick. Yeah.
Super duper fast. Just like the zoomiest. That international stuff. Okay, and then I was also a yarn pig.
I was gonna. I also had spindle bags from my mom because they're a prototype.
Oh,
And
I really like that peacock fabric.
and they have the spindles in them. So this is the one that I filled up and needs to be dealt with. And yeah, so this one, it's a little bit bigger. It's roomier. It's going to be able to put some fiber in with it. And again, this is my first time using them, so I don't have quite a review of them yet. But then there's also a smaller size that fits one more by itself, more snug, and I wouldn't put any fiber with it in there. So you would have to like kind of give yourself a tooth and wrap it around, and then put it in here, and then store your fiber somewhere else.
Such bright graphic prints.
Yes,
Love it.
Yes, the peacock was super cute. I like that one a lot.
I like the one in your hand too.
Yeah. It's got butterflies hidden in there with the flowers.
I got a new purse.
Oh.
That's my sling bag that I got from your mom. Right before I went on vacation, so it went everywhere with me.
So if you're interested in spindle bags, or that sounds like something you're interested in, you can contact me and ask me if I've had more time with them and how I feel. I'll probably get around to another review in a month, because I'll have had a chance to actually travel with them and use them in that regard. So
cool. You're now ready for my yarn.
I am, for the wool piggery.
The wool piggery. I caught an update for Wool Minds Lace Garn at the Louis. I've never gotten Wool Minds Lace Garn that isn't been from a D-stash, so I got these and I kind of freaked out because I was like, it's supposed to be 1,700 yards and they're just so small compared to when somebody has
unraveled,
opened them up and let them bloom a little bit, and then not professionally turned them into back into skeins. But this is the Barista and Patina, and this very much does remind me of Patina. So pretty. These are a garment in each, so if you're counting at home, that's 2 more sweater quantities for me. But some left, right?
It did. Some.
I have an embarrassing amount of Wool Minds, but I really do, lace garn, but I really do love it. And then I was Instagram enabled by the Carolina Fiber Girls, had and podcasted about that they're doing a Jones Street KIL in coordination with the Copper Corgi. And Jones Street is a 60% superwash merino, 30% alpaca, 10% silk blend. And she's got a sport and a DK, and I think she now has a worsted as well. And she gets this milled herself, I believe. And the base is kind of like a darker alpaca, like a black alpaca. And so I just really like the depth of color. Like the blue on top of that darker base, it just almost, I don't know, radiates. It just has a glow to it. And so I, of course, got a sweater quantity. The KAL had a 20% discount. I don't know if that is still going on or not, but go check it out. It's a really soft base. I will be able to tell you more about it when I get to knitting it, but I got the Sport, and I have 1,400 yards of it. This is the Cobalt colorway, and I also got a yellow, but I wanted to show off this beautiful, beautiful blue.
Cool.
Yes, so pretty, so pretty. It's a very soft base, and I like that the alpaca isn't like over the top crazy furry. I like my alpacas trim, sheer, not sheer, but like, tightly plied, I guess. So it's not
fluky.
Yeah. Not like it when stuff flies up in the air. Speaking of which, giving myself a coughing fit. And yeah, all of that showed up. It was like one of those things where you're like, could you just gotten here a little earlier or a little later? Because it's just this huge pile of what did you buy? But
what did you buy?
Well, not only people in my house, but also myself, right? Like,
I bought a new computer, or the family did. And so I'm trying to get used to it, different style, and
touchscreen?
Yeah.
Yep. And that takes a little getting used to.
Right. But the husband really likes the little track point. And it doesn't have a track point. So if I hear once again that he doesn't like not having the track point, I will be very sad. I'm like, touch the screen. The screen is there to touch. You don't have to do the little mousing thing, like scroll the fingers.
Yeah, once you get used to it and you go to something that doesn't have the touch screen, then it throws you for a loop. Like, I want to go here. Oh wait, I have to go down and find, and where's the mouse or the pointer, and yeah. Goodness, I'm sorry for all the coughing and now my hoarse voice.
He said it didn't exactly work, the finger thing or whatever, so like maybe I need to buy him a stylus or get one of our pins that has the stylus and say, here, try this.
Poor circulation, maybe he doesn't have warm fingers where it senses him.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he feels like he has to really mash, and when he mashes it, it's not exactly the link he wants. He doesn't know the zoom click.
Yep. Yeah, you do have to, with touch screens, kind of get used to the gestures, right?
Yep.
And then what that's called. ZK, as we mentioned earlier, things are further solidifying. Deadline's coming up. I believe the shirt deadline is here. So if you wanted a shirt, you need to go out there and see if Acme still has the website up. Because I think it was like maybe it's this weekend, the 12th.
Okay, that's Sunday.
Yep. I can try to do it on my phone here while we're talking. Class signups, I haven't taken the form down, so if you are
wanting to teach,
have something that you'd like to share with the group, please get out there and fill out the form. We'll be contacting folks once that gets shut down. Friday, April 10th. So if you're watching this on Thursday.
Yeah.
Go get it. The 5K is April 26th, I believe, and I'm doing that because I need to order swag. You can feel free to participate in the walk after that point, but you won't be getting any of the swag or benefits of somebody that has paid. I mean, it's a public trail, so you can go out and
Yep.
walk if you're interested. But no prizes, food, or swag or award at the end. What else is going on?
The wine trip is full, and there are people who are expressing interest, but not quite the tipping point to try to take people's money. When we get a consensus in the threads, I might open up and see if we can fill. But if we end up not filling, then that's a lot of returning of people's money that I'm going to have to do. So we're gonna wait for a quorum. It might stay at the numbers it's at right now, and maybe I will generate a new thread for a wait list. And then if you wanted to get on that, I could crunch the numbers and see if maybe I can get a slightly bigger bus or something. If I could add just a few more people, but not a whole new bus worth. Yeah.
Yep. Otherwise, if people cancel, we'll be able
Yep.
to work people into the existing bus.
And I've had people, to be honest, and I don't know, because this is the first time we're doing the wine one, so it might not happen this time, but last year some people had decided that they didn't want to go on a yarn crawl after all, and so gave up their spots to people from their table mates last minute. So I wouldn't necessarily hold out hope for that or go a
Down on it, yeah.
But at the same time, it has been known to happen. You get to talking, or maybe after a few days of retreating, you're just tired and you don't want to get on a bus and drink some wine, and so you just want to pass. I will allow substitutions like that at the retreat. Probably not prior to the retreat, but at the retreat I will allow last minute substitutions with people that are near you. And I just ask that you make sure that I have swapped your phone number information, your information and phone number with their information and phone number before we leave, and it'll be a done deal.
Cool.
But not that you needed to know all of that right now.
I'm just slowly dying over here. I'm trying not to cough.
Okay.
So,
Bye.
bye, Ufta.